Hello, YouTube Universe. My name is Edmund Stevens, and I am your movie maniac here. And I just want to give you another movie review of the movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Now, I've been wanting to do this review for a little while now, but I know everybody among them did a review on YouTube already. That's movie reviews, so I know I'm a little bit late on this, but better late than never, right? So let's get started. Okay, first of all, this movie is directed by one of my favorite directors of all time, Quentin Tarantino. The movie is starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt, which was the two standouts of the movie to me. Margot Robbie and Al Pacino and Dakota Fanning and some more familiar faces in the movie that you might notice. Um, Basically, this movie is about the 1969 Hollywood, about actors and actresses, uh, about that era of acting and movies and all that other good stuff. And basically Leonardo DiCaprio's character um, is like he's taking a fall in his career. So he's starting to become, or he's thinking he's starting to become a has-been or a wash-up actor or whatever, and that started to bother him and worry him to death. Um, and and Brad Pitt is his doppelganger. Not his doppelganger, but his his stunt double. Um, in the movie, and Brad Pitt did a great job in this movie. I don't care what nobody say. Brad Pitt was awesome in this movie. Leonardo DiCaprio was awesome in this movie too. Like I said earlier, they were the two standouts, and on top of that, they are the leads in the movie. But they were also the standouts in the movie. I mean, everybody did good in this movie though, but them two really did their thing. They really showed themselves. Really showed how much of a great actors they are. Um, so I mean, and they just did a great job. Margot Robbie did okay. She didn't have much to do in the movie per se, but she did okay. Cause she was playing the actress Sharon Tate back in the day. They also did a Charles Manson thing in the movie. They didn't go deep into that, but with the Charles Manson thing and his coat or whatever. But they touched on it here and there. Um, but Yeah, this movie was great. This movie was awesome. I loved it to death, and it was just a great all around. If you love Quentin Tarantino, you'll love this movie. Um, Sorry to say that it wasn't my favorite Quentin Tarantino, but it's still a great movie. You know what I'm saying? So this is only his ninth movie that he did. So that's another thing I love about Quentin Tarantino. When he does his movies, he takes his time with it. Another thing I love about Quentin Tarantino is and about Once Upon a Time in Hollywood and all his movies, that his movies always have great dialogue in them. Like you can take a scene where two people are just talking to each other and you will enjoy the mess out of that scene because his dialogue is so unique, and it's just you just be very entertained just by two people having a conversation. So I mean, like for example, one of my favorite parts in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is when this little girl was sitting on the actor chair and she was reading this book, and Leonardo DiCaprio walked up to her and sat beside her on and everything, and all of a sudden they had this conversation, and it was very intriguing because I mean the dialogue was just so great to the point where it's just like you know what I'm saying? Like that, it was just awesome. I mean, I love that scene, and they made the little girl look like she was light years ahead of her time, and she was only 8 or 9 years old in the movie, what she says, and it was just a great scene. Now, it was a lot of scenes like that in the movie with great dialogue, of course, because Quentin Tarantino, but that was just one of my favorite scenes in the movie. Uh, and another thing I love about this movie, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, is the last 30 minutes of this movie. Now, some people say that the second half of this movie kind of dragged. It did a little bit, but it didn't drag as much as people saying it is. Because the second half was like a little bit about Margaret Robbie's part when she was going to the movies and looking at herself on the big screen. So, I mean, that part didn't drag as much as people were saying it was because they were switching back and forth to her. So it wasn't as slow because people just kept saying before I went to go see the movie that just dragged the whole movie. It was just a slowest part of the movie, but when it really wasn't. So because they kept going back to back to her, switching scene for scene. So I mean, I ain't had no problem with that part. I mean, I was that in tune in the movie, and I'm that much of a Quentin Tarantino fan to the point that didn't bother me. But I did feel the slowness of the second half of the movie a little bit, but not as much as everybody else did. So that being said, but the last 30 minutes of the movie made up for the middle part of the movie or the second half of the movie. Because the last 30 minutes was just awesome. I don't want to spoil it for people who haven't seen it yet. It's been out for a little while now, for like a week and a half, 2 weeks, I think. Week, I don't know. But most of everybody should have seen this movie by now, but I'm pretty sure everybody hasn't. But if you haven't seen the movie, y'all should check it out. Especially if you're Quentin Tarantino fans. But the last 30 minutes of this movie was awesome. It blew me away. I was in shock. I mean, my mouth was just wide open, like just looking at the big screen. I mean, I couldn't even cheer or like whoa or anything like that because I was just that in tune with that scene. I was not expecting. I should have expected that. I kind of did expect that, kind of because it's Quentin Tarantino and he does random stuff like that in his movies. So I kind of expected that. I should have known that, but yeah, the last 30 minutes of this movie was awesome. That was my favorite part of the movie. The last 30 minutes. I mean, the whole movie is great. I also like the dude that played Bruce Lee. He did a great job talking like him and walking like him and just having his aura and everything. And it was funny that part was funny too when him and Brad Pitt was fighting. But that was one of my favorite scenes too. But like I said, I love the whole movie. The whole movie was great. I did like the part with Al Pacino too, even though I kind of wish they showed a little bit more Al Pacino, but I think he served his purpose in the movie. So they kind of pulled a Wolf of Wall Street, even though that's not a Quentin Tarantino movie, that's a Martin Scorsese movie. But they kind of pulled a Wolf of Wall Street when Matthew McConaughey had that one where he was just in the beginning and you didn't see him no more. And that movie was literally 3 hours long. So yeah. But that's all I really have to say about this movie. It's a very good movie. The way they shot the movie is great. The way they did it was unique because it's Quentin Tarantino. And Quentin Tarantino kind of filmed this movie a little different than he did other movies, but it's mostly the same thing. So yeah, he did a great job. And like I said, if y'all ain't seen it, y'all should see it. But that's all I really have to say about this movie. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. If you like this video, hit that like button on the bottom. Subscribe to my page. I will be doing more movie reviews in the future and movie trailer reviews in the future. So look out for that, people. And I will appreciate the support and love. And I will leave a link down below or a clip from the movie, just to convince more people to go see the movie. Because like I said, it's a very good movie. Especially if you're a Quentin Tarantino fan. So check that link out that I'm gonna put them on the bottom of my page, and that's it. And I am your movie maniac here. And I am your movie maniac here. Sorry about that. My name is Evan Stevens, and I am your movie maniac here. And God bless everybody, and keep keeping up with me. And God bless everybody. I'm Evan Stevens. I am your movie maniac here. And God bless everybody. Peace.